Hello, my fellow YouTubers, the one that have not subscribed to my channel. Please do so and press the bell button for more videos. Please help us because subscribe really do help the channel grow and for me to do more content. Thank you. So I came across like the best story and twist in true crime story ever. Like I literally have seen this like 4 or 5 times. It's the best twist, like I've never seen one in a movie like this. That's how good it is. If they actually do a horror movie about this, like this is gonna be on the top 3 movies ever, like for me. The story is about Mark Twitchell, the Edmund killer. But let's go into the story. So I chose Dexter because Dexter was the main influence in all of this. So let's see. So Mark was born in Edmund, and Edmund, it's a really small city in Canada. It's not the best city if you aspire to do big movies or even be a producer or a director. So, but Mark managed to graduate in 2000, got a degree in TV and radio arts. But despite of all that efforts to make original movies, none of them had any buzz, was almost like for family and friends. But in 2007, like, as you can see by the Yoda poster, he was, in episode 3, the shirt, you can see he was a Star Wars geek, and he put a really good amount of effort doing a prequel to the Star Wars trilogy. And the people that read the script were really amazed about the quality of the script. So they kind of convinced him, like, you need to produce this movie, chase your dream, and this one is a really good one to start. So he reached producers, directors, actors from the previous movies, and he actually got a response from the actor that played Boba Fett, I think Jeremy Bullock. Yeah, he agreed to do a cameo on his movie, but it did well, but it wasn't his ticket to stardom. But his line of thought was like, if this is not even my main my prefer, the genre of movies, like that was to be Dexter, like if I could do that with Star Wars, and that's not even my number 1 pick, what if I could bring the whole true crime serial killer genre to a script and then try to make this to launch my career. And he did just that, because at the time there was the Edmund killer. It was a real person, a real assassin, a real killer, and Mark managed to gather all the info on the victims, places where the crimes were committed, the timeline. It was so good that when he finished, somehow the first batch of the script, it leaked and people read it. Some people thought it was gruesome, too graphic, and it got on the hands of the police, and the police told him, like, oh man, there is no way with the investigation going on that you're gonna make this movie like ever. So they made the script disappear. Yes, Dexter plays a cop, is a serial killer that only kills bad guys, and he makes these rooms with plastic all around, so there's no spill of blood anywhere, that he calls the kill rooms. Okay, so Mark put the effort in this, and this was victim number 1. His name is Giles or Gilles, depends, because it's in Canada, so you have the French part and the American part, or the English part, I'm sorry. Gilles Tetraful, I think it's French, but I'm gonna call him Guile. Let's say, okay, so Guile was going to a rough patch. His wife, the wife just left him with his kid, said she didn't love him anymore. He was in a bit of a downward spiral when one day he just said to himself, nah, I'm gonna pick myself up, I'm gonna throw myself in the game again. So he put a profile on a dating app, and that was it. So he browsed to a few profiles, nothing connected with him, until he met Sheena. So Sheena was very friendly. Of course, she picked up some interests they had in common. Then some 12, 13 back and forward questions and answers, some Q&A. She invites him to have a dinner and go to a movie. Obviously, he says yes. He's in this moment he's a little bit needy. Okay, so Sheena gives her address, but the address is really peculiar. It's not the address you would expect. It's like a note with landmarks that will lead to her place. Okay, so this is the killer room, and then you would go to this room to enter her place. Okay, so this is the outside of the room. He saw the garage. He immediately knew this was Sheena's garage, because she told him she's going to leave the bottom side open so he could enter. Strange, right? Not only that, but as you can see, the room was filled with plastic everywhere. You know, he didn't find it strange. He goes upstairs, and immediately he's tased with a taser baton in the neck, in the back of the head. And when he turns around, he's a little bit dizzy. He sees this guy in the hockey mask, the black and golden hockey mask, a large guy. Like he said, he was a huge guy, so he could put up a fight. He tries to run, try to pass, try to run, but he pulls off a gun, and immediately he stops and complies with everything he says. He says, to put the plastic in the face, to cover the eyes. But then Gil, he has a sudden change of heart. He's thinking to himself, there's no way I'm going to walk away alive. I didn't say anyone where I was going. Probably if this guy kills me, no one will ever find my body. So he got an adrenaline rush, fight or flight response, and he attacks the guy. Okay, so when he attacks the guy, he notices something. This is a plastic gun, and when he does that, he immediately, he kicks him in the leg and tries to run to the garage, through the garage door. So he runs to the bottom side, but when he tries to lift himself up, he's a little bit dazed, yet he cannot walk straight. But not too far away, there's there's some people, and he's like pointing to the guy, because he came chasing him, and he says, that guy's trying to kill me, that guy's trying to kill me. But the guy on the mask tried to pull the Dahmer. Trying to pull a Dahmer is like what Dahmer did when one of his victims ran away and found the cops. He said, "Oh man, my friend's drunk, never mind, this is just something, so he tried to pull the Dahmer and say, "Oh, come on back inside, it's just a game, and the bystanders actually leave him, they say, "You're on your own, bro." But Gil, he sat and he just watches this guy walking around inside the garage, and then he boosts himself up, goes into his truck and ran away. But he kept this to himself. He never told this to anyone, because about the embarrassment, to go on a dating app at the time, 2000s, 2007, I don't know, 2000 something. It was on the early ages of dating apps, and people were seeing that kind of creepy. So he kept this all to himself. Okay, so right away on the next day, on the 8th, I'm sorry, I had to put some notes. Yes, on the 8th, he met the second victim, John Altinger. John was a cool guy, man. He was just chilling. He did oil quality control. He didn't like his job that much. He preferred to be around his computer and his bike. He had a lot of friends, but nothing romance was going on. So he did what Gil did. He went on the dating app, but this time was Jan. Jan was the catfish. So Jan basically gave him the same instructions like she did. But this time, Johnny went there, and he found him. When he entered, he saw the plastic things again. There was this guy greeting him, Mark. No, not Mark. Another name, and he strikes with something in the back. Was a lead pipe. He struck him with a lead pipe in the back of the head, and he was like, he was confused. He was like, well, he didn't even knew what just happened. So the other guy keeps striking him in the head. He's like, "Oh, I'll give you money. I'll give you anything." And the guy stopped and smiled at him and said, "Anything?" And then he just struck him like just a killer shot in the middle of the head, just to end it. But Johnny was not dead. He grabbed, and then when the other guy pulled out of a knife and just stabbed him in the shoulder. Okay, so when he finished stabbing him in the shoulder, he stabbed him on the stomach, and that's when Johnny died. The most, how would I put it? The most disturbing thing is that the killer actually thought to himself, why did I not savor the time and just played some more mind games with him? That was what's on the killer's mind. But Johnny died, so he did like what Dexter did. He dismembered him in this table. This is the actual table. After removing all the garage, but Johnny, he was not that dumb. We don't know like if it was on purpose or for a gag. He said, I'm meeting someone in this address. If something happens to me, well, I was on this address. He sent it to a friend, and when he disappeared, the police picked on that. This is the manhole where he disposed of Johnny's body. And what they could see when they traced the address is that the address didn't belong to Jess or whatever. It didn't belong to any female. It belonged to our good friend Mark. Okay, but anyway, Mark was cooperative. He said, look, I'm not the only one with access to that garage, and so this is okay. So if that was true, everything was circumstantial. Okay, but then they got his laptop, and on the laptop was a hidden file with 42 pages. That was the famous script that the police already previously had found in the beginning of the story, because it would be weird, right, if the police like found a movie script with the real names and the real places, actually real good timeline, and didn't arrest. That's because they only got hands on the script after Johnny was killed. Okay, so to me this is like boom, this is like M. Shyamalan like twist. Oh man, this to me this is one of the like I feel bad for the victims, but to me, you know, the nerve, like life imitates art, like this is a really great example of it. And I don't know, did Marky Mark was he trying to be a producer, director, or was he trying to be an actual killer? What was the motivation to do this? Was it really the movie, or does it? Yeah, this is a mugshot after he was sentenced to death. I don't know. Yeah, he was sentenced to death, and Marky Mark, okay, he's gonna spend, you know, the rest of his life in prison. But that's the thing. Was he really, or was the movie thing just an excuse for him to chase his primal instinct? Okay, that's okay. So please subscribe to my channel. Okay, and thank you.